Okay, welcome to the class EPPE 3123 Industry and International Business. Tonight, SET2. We're gonna go to this topic on technology. Okay. Okay, here we're gonna study process of technological change, and a process given here is a model here is a linear model. Another one is the iterative model. So iterative is having a loop. Iterative, and they will have a loop. I have to close so many applications here I'm using. So slow. And loop. The first one is linear. Linear and iterative. Iterative is with loop or loops. So there are two models of technological change, linear and iterative, with loops, with feedbacks, in reality, process of technological change is not linear. It is the second one, which is in reality, in the real world. The second one is true in real world. First one is just a model, basic model for us to understand the concept of tech change. So this here, the picture that we're seeing here is a linear model. And starting with basic and applied research, and that leads to product and process development, and leads to, this is the actual production, and then marketing and diffuse, to sell out, to sell the products. The second one, which is the iterative model, which is more relevant to the reality. I have to close some of the application, getting slow, so slow. It is the second page, which is iterative. You see here, it's a loop. So starting with the potential market survey, market research, they do the research study on the whether the product can sell or not, and then moves on to the invention, to produce the prototype model, and test it, do the testing, and then production, and distribute to the market. So if the product is not selling or cannot sell, they go back and check again. Maybe during the test, it was not done correctly, the result, so on. So, and check again. Maybe the prototype model was not well conceived. The concept is maybe behind what the market demands. So, and also check back, maybe the market survey, the results were wrong. So, and look at this. So, in this model, don't get confused with this one. This is only on the top here, the heading of the book. The same heading. This will have the heading. It is not the title of this graph. The title of this graph is feedbacks and interaction. That's why I say iterative, this iterative model, because with interactions, the second model, iterative model, and you notice here all these activities are being informed by findings from research. And there are two types of research: basic research and applied research. And here is basic research. Bottom here, applied research. Basic research are done by universities and government research institute, whereas applied research are done by firms. Firms will not, many firms, maybe very rare they'll do, many firms will not do the basic research. They will do applied research only, not the basic research, because of the return. Monetary return is very little, or maybe zero. Because the result, the output from basic research will become public goods. Because the results will become public good. No. Everyone will benefit. Whereas firms firms will not do it because the results will become public, will benefit everyone. Little or no monetary return to firms. That's the basic research. Basic research is to move the frontier of knowledge. Yeah. To move the frontier of knowledge. That's the purpose of basic research. So this one, so research, there are two types: basic research conducted by universities and government research institutes only. Firms will not do it because the results will become public goods that will benefit everyone. As a result, little or monetary or no monetary returns to the firm. Basic research is actually to move the frontier or horizon of knowledge in a field, in certain or particular field or particular field of study. Example, physics, chemistry, mathematics, engineering, etc. Second one is the applied research. To apply the theories and concepts from the results of the basic research. This will be conducted by firms. Oh. My internet is wireless, it's so slow. I lost what I typed just now. Please only the, okay, I got it back. That's applied research. To apply the theories and concepts from the results of the basic research. This will be conducted by firms. The firms will get or reap the monetary value. Differentiated products. That's the word in economics. Differentiated, different from other, other products. Because using the technology, using the result of the applied research, put into the products, and the product will sell. So here we have the basic research. This basic research here done by universities and government research institute will inform the product, the result from basic research will become public goods, become general knowledge. Everyone can benefit from that. So firms will not do it because the results of basic research will benefit other people than the company, than the firm, will benefit everyone. So it becomes knowledge to everyone, so general knowledge. So that's why firms will also gain from basic research, will gain the information, and will do this part, applied research at the bottom here. So firm specific knowledge and technical and technology platforms. Right here. Okay. All right. Yes. See. And this will inform all the activities of a firm here to invent the product, to produce analytical design, the prototype, and at the same time they will do the study, market study, whether this can sell or not, and so on. So this is the more real compared with the now linear model, which is not true. It's only for us to understand the basic concept of tech change. So Next. Yep. Now, we come to what I spoke just now, basic and applied research. Again, basic done by universities and public or government research institute, because of what I say, you spend money, you invest a lot of time and money and also people, human resource, but the result will become public goods. Everyone will benefit from. So why a firm will do? Not firms. Universities will do. Universities and government research institute. However, there are some firms who will do it, will do the basic research because of only or mainly because of the first mover advantage. Yes. First mover advantage. You move first, you gain, you get more money. You can sell products. So only some large companies, large firms will do basic research, but most of them are not doing. Only the government. When I say the government, for example, news about a few days ago, will spend on basic research. For example, in the news a few days ago, just to highlight to you, this is in the news a few days ago, 3 days ago. Oh, it goes to X. Okay, to spend 2.1 on basic research. I want to highlight to you, okay, what increase investment in basic research this year. Uh, so the government, look at this. The keyword is government, not private firms. Basic research, the government will do. Universities will do. Government will give money to universities uh, to do basic research. Government also will give money to government research institute as well. Created newly created creative research category. Oh, in Korea, there is a new category, creative research. Okay. Um, okay, look at this now. Uh, Again, this is not the title. This is the heading of the book. Here the title, the impact of research and development activities on productivity. So if you look at a total factor productivity, and this basic research will contribute 8%. And from basic research, this will fit into applied research done by firms. This is by universities and government research institute, and this is applied research done by firms, private firms, and government firms, if there is, but mostly, we call it firms. Firms will do the applied research. Uh, this will contribute to process design, development, and engineering, 21%. Also contribute to, this is, the link is stronger for process, and this, the link here will go here this way too, will contribute 31% for product design. You notice the word keyword that we're going to study after this? Product and process. And we have technical services. All this will add up to the total factor productivity. So the outcome of basic research is not a package of information and knowledge, rather basic research, especially that conducted in universities, they constitute the principal means of training new researchers. And okay, next. Oh, this way. It's nice. Just push the button there. Yeah. And here we have sources of innovative ideas in manufacturing. They ask the firms, the survey the firms, 86% from users, and internal R&D. So not important, I'm going to skip. So now we come to next subtopic, product and process development. So product development is got to do with the product itself, to develop from the concept, prototype, and you do the testing, R&D on that, and then finally you produce the product. Where's process? In my Telegram that I send you the picture, if you look at the picture, let's read together from the Telegram. Okay, earlier today I sent a picture. Process innovation. First, I define what is innovation. Innovation is a new way of competing. New way of competing. And then, what is process innovation? Process innovation does not only deal with production. To me, I want to define process is not only during the production stage. It includes all before that and after that. before production and after production, all the spectrum from the moment products are coming, the supply of raw materials, the supply of intermediate goods, the supply for components coming. That's what we call logistics in logistics. So we want to get the best, the most competitive inputs and the best quality inputs at competitive price and good timing, coming not late, not too early, not late, on time, just in time, and enough amount, and no rejects. So we want all that the process is also efficient, the logistic in logistics, the components, the materials that come. And now the process, the production of the product. And then after that also, once the product is finished, you package, and well, still packaging is still under production, produce and package. And now market the products, to get the products to customers, and also including after sales service. Everything must be tip top, efficient, good quality, and so on. So that's what I wrote here. Process innovation does not only deal with production, but also includes how to get the products and to customers and how they are satisfied. Okay, I did not include the, in my writing there, did not include the before the production. So I should write again some other time, or maybe I write now. The second one is process innovation. Okay. Yeah, I do it differently. I'm going to take this picture and share that in the Telegram. Yes, it is in our Telegram. That, so before the production and also after the production. Okay. And then next is codified and tacit knowledge. So who are the movers, the shakers and movers and shakers of, who are the drivers of innovation? They are those having the technical as well as business acumen. They have the brain in the technical as well as the business. So we referring here, plus their experience, referring here to the tacit knowledge, the second one. There are two types of knowledge, codified and tacit. Tacit is the most important, or the more important here, not the codified. Okay, let's move on to next page. Okay, let's read first. Not all technological knowledge comes in the same form, as it does not come from a single source. Technology is embedded in machinery and equipment, but this knowledge may be out of reach of customers or users without yeah, without documentation and manuals that codify it. So these documents may be accessible or comprehensible only to repair technicians and others with adequate training. So the fundamental knowledge is that which remains in the head of the technical or research personnel of the manufacturer, which is the tacit knowledge. The knowledge which they retain is tacit or fingerprint knowledge, as opposed to codified knowledge. Tacit knowledge flows primarily through informal networks, and these networks allow a firm to scan and monitor both internal and external sources of knowledge. So tacit knowledge, a good example is when Steve Jobs, who is Steve Jobs, passed away. This guy, he passed away October 5, 2011. He passed away. He was the co-founder of Apple, the company, Apple PC, Apple computers, and continue on with the Apple phone that we're seeing today. He passed away. When he passed away, all the knowledge, the tacit knowledge, goes together or went together with him into the grave. That's what we call tacit knowledge inside the head of that somebody. Tacit knowledge cannot be easily learned by other people. Tacit knowledge cannot be transferred to another person. Or maybe they will not transfer to another person. Tacit knowledge cannot flow from a father to son, but that's possible. But it's not the same nature, not the same strength, because tacit is really what is inside the head with all the experience and so on, the head of that person. When Steve Jobs passed away, went together with him all the knowledges, including the tacit knowledge, which is more important, inside his head, no more. So after he passed away, Apple was having, little setback, I saw, in terms of innovation. Codified knowledge, on the other hand, which is tangible, you can touch. Tangible. The other one is intangible. The difference. Tangible, you can touch, you can eat, you can ride. Intangible, like services, you cannot touch, cannot read, and cannot ride, cannot eat. Intangible. So most are codified knowledge is tangible. Okay. Codified knowledge, you can learn. Other people can learn. Codified knowledge is already becoming public. Everyone can read. Once they can read, they can learn. As opposed to tacit knowledge inside the head of somebody. Me, inside of me, if I don't tell people, even if I tell you, still you cannot get everything what I have inside my head. Just like Bill Gates, just like Steve Jobs. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft. Whereas codified knowledge is already written. You can read. Somewhere usually printed forms in patents applications, in scientific papers or journal papers. So here is the diagram of generic diagram. Generic, the word generic. generate whatever diagram, for example. So generic. Yeah. Here, this corner is really the combination of whether private owned or public owned, and here completely tacit and completely codified. That's the range. Okay, the range. This is codified, and more here toward here is tacit. Here privately owned. The other extreme is publicly owned. This is private. So the private know-how, like the knowledge inside the head of Steve Jobs, inside the head of Bill Gates, here private know-how, which is completely tacit and privately owned by him, as opposed to the scientific papers, the journal papers, fully disclosed. You can read it, and it is public. Everyone can read it. So this is the two extreme. And patents and copyrights is completely codified because it is coded. It's like manual. You know, you when you buy a car, you buy a TV, whatever, you buy something, there's a manual how to use it. So these patents, all these copyrights applications explain. You can refer to the applications and so on. And patents and copyrights, actually, you can use the technology by paying the license, the royalty. So it is completely codified. On the side is tacit and restricted access. Not everyone can access. However, it has become public. It is shared to the public. So this is shared expertise. So the boss may share certain knowledge to the workers, the middle manager, and will share knowledge to the workers. And however, this is again restrictive in terms of access. However, it is becoming more public rather than publicly owned. Privately owned. So this is a generic diagram. We call it generic to generalize. Next. Next. Product cycle. Basically, there is, or you need at least 3 phases to explain product life cycle. At least you can have 4, you can have 5, you can have 6 stages depending on how detailed you want to be or you want to look at it. So, but basically has to be 3, cannot be less than 3. 3 will be product just introduced, product are now experiencing growth, and product now is maturing. So at least 3. So I'm going to go to my diagram that I draw, which because this is from a photo and my drawing on whiteboard in the class. I will translate to you here what I draw. This is on whiteboard. Okay. All right. Here, okay, product life cycle and location of production. Let me repeat. Product life cycle and location of production. And this has to do or having to do also with foreign direct investment. So my drawing here, this is stage 1 or stages, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. And here, location of production. And here, the markets. Where is the market? And here, the stages until 5. Here, production. And export or import. Production, export, net export, or net import, which I draw. The first stage, products is just being introduced. Second stage, products are now, or that product is now having a strong sales, and it's exponential. Up to a certain point, it will go declining. So before I go further, this product life cycle actually explains that a country that first introduced to the world a product, because that country has the technology plus capital, that country only has that technology and know-how, how to produce the product, plus they have the money, the capital. So a product introduced to the world by one country, in the end, that country will import the product that it first started to introduce to the world. Take, for example, if United States or Western countries like the UK or France or Italy were the first countries, take only United States, assume for the sake of teaching only. If the United States was the country that invented television and produced television and export to the rest of the world, today USA, the country that introduced, invented and exported a TV, today USA is importing that product, TV, that it used to export to the world. Now USA is importing it. So that it is explained here through the location of production. And location of production moves to other locations overseas. And this is basically foreign direct investment. So now let's go back. So in stage 1, the product is just being introduced, and location of production is domestic, in home country, domestic. The market also domestic, in the home country, say in the US, for example. And then stage 2, the product is experiencing exponential growth up to the point. So you see here, this is consumption, this is output, production and consumption. So this part is being exported. The leftover, not that, I shouldn't say leftover, but the difference between total production and consumption in the country, and this part is export to overseas. So where is the location of production? Still within the country, in the USA, in the US. What about the market? Pasaran, market, both places, in the US, domestic, and being exported outside of USA. And then come to stage 3, the cost of production in the US has now began to increase the cost of production. As a result, US companies are looking outside of the country for a place or places that the product can produce at cheaper cost. So they will do FDI. Mula FDI. Start doing FDI, foreign direct investment. And because of the cost, domestic cost to produce domestically in the country has now increased. So go overseas, do FDI. So where is the location of production? Domestic in the country plus outside of the country through FDI. So that now 2 locations of production. Still some in the country, in the US, but most other products, the rest and the bigger part, I should say, are produced overseas because cheaper overseas. The cost, labor cost, production of of the material and so on. So 2 locations, domestic and overseas, through FDI. Now we see FDI, foreign direct investment. Where is the market? Still, the market is serving domestic market, plus serving the market in the host country, the country that the American went for FDI. We call it host country, and also outside of the host country. And now, stage 4, that country, USA, for example, in our story, has now lost competitiveness. So that lost the competitiveness in the home country. And now, no more production. You see, notice the location of production. No more production in the home country. No more production in the US. Stop producing the product in the US because it's too expensive and not competitive anymore. Losing the competitiveness. Not competitive to produce in the US. So FDI, all of them, FDI, all the production, I mean, outside of the country through FDI. Where's the market? The market now, host country plus outside of the host country, this one, and also importing. So now you see import. This is the production, this is the consumption, this is import. So the country now, USA, beginning to import TV, the product that USA was the only country at that time that had the knowledge and technology on how to produce a TV and have the capital, money capital. So you see here, this product life cycle theory actually explain a country that introduced a product to the world in the past. A country that in the past introduced a product to the world, today that country is importing that product that they used to introduce to the world. Import. And final stage, it is whether FDI, still doing FDI or not doing any more FDI. Whether, which one? Whether doing FDI or not doing FDI. So now, completely, from here, still beginning already, not complete. The original country that, well, the country which is the origin of the product now is becoming the importer of that product. So imports. So whether they will continue to do FDI or not depends on whether the product is still sellable and still there's a market for that, and we're gonna study that in our final chapter, which is disruptive technology, disruptive innovation. A product will become obsolete. What is obsolete? Obsolete. If that product, the technology is old, when there is a tech change, a product become obsolete. This is what we're going to study as the disruptive in our final chapter, technology. Just a second. Okay, back. Sorry, get my drink, my water. This tea, I'm having this tea. It's good. Barley tea. Okay. And now, you see, where is the location of production? It is in the developing countries, not in the USA anymore. Even before here, the production, beginning from stage 4, the production is where the USA company is having or doing the FDI in another country. And stage 4 here, still that production overseas, but still by American companies. In stage 4, by American companies in another country or other countries than USA, outside the USA, but still by American companies. Stage 5, whether by American companies or not, so it depends on the cost of production, and more importantly, if the product has now become standardized. The technology when the technology has become standardized. So at that point, when the technology has become standardized, no or can learn become standardized. How to make a TV? Everyone knows today how to make a TV. How to make a radio? Everyone knows how to make a radio. That technology has now become standardized. Only that they don't have the capital to manufacture, to produce it. But the technology is widespread already. I'm going to share it into the Telegram. So if the technology has become standardized, perhaps more likely that the US companies will not produce it overseas and let that country, those developing countries, produce it. So as a result, firms from developing countries are now producing it. So that the location of production is not in the USA, but in those developing countries. Right. Can be the same country that US companies used to do FDI, if you're not doing now, but also other countries, because technology has now become so widespread. Oh no, this one. Widespread. Widespread. Where's the market? Location of the market is global. So that's it. Next. This is an interesting parallel to the product life cycle. Here, profit life cycle. This is by Ann Markuson. Here, 5 stages. Here we plot the stages and cost per revenue per unit. So cost here and revenue. So when the product is first being introduced, the cost is very high, because one of the characteristics of technology products is this: high fixed cost but low cost, but lower, but much lower variable cost. Or I should stop here. High fixed cost. Yes. So that you're not gonna get confused. Very high fixed cost. High fixed cost. To start with. And the cost will go down as more sales revenue. When you can sell more, you can produce more, the cost will go down. And here, in the first or second stage, the company will gain the super profit, because the cost is now being reduced a lot. Profits are negative during the initial birth negative year profit during beginning of introduction, because you have to spend high fixed cost just now. This is for R&D, research and development, for example. High fixed cost. So a product, the profit level of innovation is greatest shortly after its introduction, which is the super profit in stage 2, derives from the monopoly position held by the innovator. It's from the first mover advantage. Suggests that there is a 6-month lead over competitors can triple the cumulative profit from a new product. If you have a 6 months lead in terms of technology or introduce, you can have triple the profit, super profit. And then in the stage number 3, soon after introduction, competitors will enter the market. This is stage 3, and the profits drops sharply as output approaches saturation. So yeah, so they're getting only normal profit. Many competitors will join in the competition. So here the company will have only normal, not super profit. And then in stage 4, after stage 3 into the stage 4, this is the critical juncture or junction where the company continue to make sales or losing. And this will turn into the stage 5 of negative profit if that happens. So let's look at. If a product or industry follows the life cycle from low to high volume, a shakeout period will follow where competition shifts rather suddenly from product innovation to price, based on price rather than qualities and product innovation, from skill labor intensive to capital intensive, resulting in the demise of firms unable to make this transition from competing to the lower cost, lower price. So if they cannot compete, being competitive, so they will have negative sale or not being able to sell. So it will be, this is the cost, so negative profit. So the 4th stage is uncertain as a result. Depends on, in some industries will be able to earn profit, whereas in others, competition eliminates all, but the lowest cost producer will stay in this 4th stage. Only the lowest cost producer. The technology has now become standardized. Basically, most of the competitors now can offer similar type of quality of products, similar quality. Uh, Product differentiation. What is product differentiation? Different from different from competitors. Competitors. Products. This refer to the product quality. Quality is different. So at that time, companies will be offering basically the same quality. So the room for product differentiation is very little here. So the only way to compete is to have cheaper cost, maintaining the same quality at a cheaper cost. That's why you can sell at a price. Price is the competition, the basis for competition. Price, lower cost, lower price. So eliminate all companies except the lowest cost producer. Indeed, negative profits prevail in the final stage of an industry when large corporations disinvest, goes out, exit, disinvest, and the sector becomes the domain mainly of small firms serving niche markets. That's interesting. Next one, when we talk about technology products, generally production-based industrial sector follows an S-shape pattern. So we're talking here about non-linear. So next. Here's just another generic diagram of between here technology and the production process. Here is the market condition, whether certain, which is predictable, or uncertain. And here, technology as a production process. Technology of the production process is whether it is based on economies of scope and variety or economies of scale. Economies of scale got to do with the more you produce and can sell, the lower the average cost, because it will be spread over on more and more and many quantities. So that's economies of scale. Average cost goes down because of the scales get bigger. The production, the more larger quantity of production and or sales. Here, based on the scope and the variety. What is scope? Segment. Like car, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, they are in the luxury, large car. Like Produa in Malaysia, Produa car is in the category segment of small car. So that's scope, segment. And so here we have a based on scope and variety. The predictable one is the world of innovation based on learning, based on internal and scientific rules, generic and also specialized products. Whereas if it's uncertain, the market condition based on scope is martial and market world, competition based on quality, evaluation are based on satisfaction of buyers, flexibility based on quality and price, dedicated and specialized products. This is generic, this is dedicated and specialized products. The other corner, which is industrial world, predictable, but is based on economies of scale. So standardized product. Competition is based on price. So in our last graph just now, toward the end of stage 4 or stage 5, this is the technology has become standardized. So standardized products. On the other hand, if it's also based on scale, but condition of the market is uncertain, so this is network market world, based on price first and quality second. Evaluation of quality based on localized industrial standards. Flexibility based on quality, quantity, and price, dedicated but standardized products. The pace of technological change has become more rapid in recent years, especially when viewed in terms of life of products. Short product life cycle. I want you to get it in your head. Companies are trying to shorten the product life cycle, to shorten the product life, the cycle, so that every 6 months or every year or 6 months, they come up with new models, new type of products, and seize on the first mover advantage. So short product life cycles are a direct consequence of product differentiation strategies. Just now I just defined to you what is product differentiation, different from other companies' product. So we are talking about product quality, the differences in the quality. Product of differentiation strategies, of product differentiation strategies. So as product life cycles become shortened, illustrated in figure 2.8, which is next page or the other page, only an innovative firm is able to earn large profits, since there is too little time for imitators to attain large scale production and profitability before the product is replaced by the next generation of technology. Yeah, this is a short product life cycle. Time, sales volume. You want to shorten the product life cycle so that the company, not you, the company wants to benefit from this growth. This is what we call S curve, S, like an S. So here, companies want to take advantage here, the increase, because after that, there's a mature, the technology has now become standardized and going possibly this way, going decline. So here is the greatest, the time to make money here. That's why make it short, the product life cycle. And it's not that making it short, I shouldn't say that way. Firms are trying to shorten the product life cycle, and that needs innovation, that needs research and development, and new knowledge, and so on. And this is the last page of that. And okay, now we're gonna go into the next topic. So we take a break for maybe 3 minutes. Now 101, so we see 105. Okay, I said 10:01. We come back at 10:05. And this is live on my YouTube. You can watch live on my YouTube. So welcome to the class. EPPE3123 Industry and International. Yeah, it is live. So we go to this our topic of network effects. Um, these are slides here. I combine the three uh, topics together. Oh, this is not the slide. This is the so slow. Sorry. Oh yeah, it is my slide. So understanding globalization, regionalism, brief introduction to complex system studies, and network economics. We're going to take this one, our next topic, network economics. Actually, I combine this part. We skip this part. And as a result, I have another slide which only takes the network economics only. But I'm just showing what it is. This is complex system study that we're going to learn after this. But first, we're going to learn the network effects, which is network economics. Yes, this one. How network economics is different from conventional economics. It's got to do with externalities that are endogenous. What is endogenous? Inside the economic forces of supply and demand. Take this picture first and share to the group. Endogenous. Yes. Externality that are endogenous inside into and demand. So let's go to the slide of network effect, and the rest is the origin of the theory. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. So this is from Lebowitz and Margulis, network externality. They published this in 1994. So network. They also lock in, L-O-C-K, lock in. internalizing the technology through ownership. You don't want people, other companies, to know the technology secrets. So the company is keeping to itself through internalization. Internal, not internationalization, internalization. Through that transaction, internalizing through ownership, now internalizing through transaction. Black box, something that we don't know. They're just skimming, scanning quickly, okay? You don't have to, know all. QWERTY, if you refer to coming up in next, how keyboard are arranged, QWERTY, so that this is because of people are used at that time. People were used to using physical typewriter, and keyboard continue to be arranged this way until today. Because at that time, during the the typewriter, there's a arm of the letter. You push that one, it will go down. That's why the keyboard, when first computer came out, first keyboard came out, it was arranged that way to avoid the layout that will produce words in English. Like I and S is very common. I will not be next to S, because during that time, using the typewriter, you push I and you immediately push the button S. I has not come out and already going down the S, so they will break. So that to avoid, putting the keyboard that will produce words, common words in English. That's why the layout is QWERTY. So look at your keyboard notebook. Also, keypad on your phone, QWERTY. Until today, there's not superior layout, but continues that until today. So we're not getting yet into this. This is just an intro for my slide, which is based on these articles. Again, another article is the network economy, the structure, the new economy, network effects, and market structure. And this is the 202. Look at the reference citation here, based on networks, based on Katz and Shapiro 1985, Leibowitz and Margulies 1990, the one that we referred just now, 1994. Even before 1994, began to write already on this topic, as referred to. It's 1990, and Katz and Shapiro authors. Okay, external introduction. We're not gonna read, just skimming or scanning only. Yes, this is coming up in my slides. Video cassette recorder at a time. Okay, next I will explain. Personal computer also, IBM PC versus Apple Macintosh. So we're talking about two different operating systems. We're talking about standards. Okay. Now let's go to the slide. Okay. Here I am bringing to you the concept of network economics with network effects and the applications for this network economics can be many type of applications to all different sort of problem or situation. But here I want to focus only the application of network effects, which is network economics, on R&D only to focus on the use, of this theory to R&D. How R&D can develop and produce results, which is technology and better quality products. So you're going to learn what is network economics is. Economic theory behind network economics. How network economics is related to R&D. This is our focus, is the concept of emergence and spatial agglomeration. This clustering in one place. So implication for R&D, implication to the firms. So what is network economics? First, what is economics? A study of how to allocate scarce resources. And then what is network? It's got to do with nodes. Nodes are actors or agents. Agents can be buyer or producer, and the links between them. So a study of nodes and links. Okay, nodes and links. This is node, 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 nodes, nodes. And the links represent interactions between the nodes. The nodes can be buyers or sellers, or economic agent. When we say agent, we refer to economic agent. So it's a study of how scarce resources are allocated with the forces among nodes of economic agents and their links. How is network economics different from conventional economics? So number one, externalities are endogenous, which is inside economic forces of supply and demand. Wait, what are externality? It is an economic activity may generate costs and benefits, some of which are not incurred, the costs not incurred. The benefits are not enjoyed by the persons performing the activity. A good example of for you to understand what is externality. Suppose you have a house and next to you is a vacant land. For example, the moment the mayor of the city signed a gazette that the land next to your house will become a graveyard, immediately the moment he signed that, the price of your house went down. So it went down not because of you, because of external. So externality, economic activity that generate cost, or the other hand, benefits, profits, some of which are not incurred or enjoyed by the person performing the activity. So endogenous externalities through the network creates increasing returns to scale, the S curve. What is increasing to scale? If inputs are increased by half, outputs will increase by more than half. If inputs are increased by 1 unit, outputs will increase by more than 1 unit. If inputs are increased by 3 times, outputs will increase by more than 3 times. So, economies of scale equals the decrease in marginal cost when output is increased, so that average cost will go down. So this is economies of scale. The average cost will go down as more outputs are being produced. That's what we call economies of scale. The greater the scale, the lower the cost. Network externalities resemble. Resemble means they look alike, but they're not the same. Network externalities resemble economies of scale, but are not considered as such because they are a function of the number of users of a good or services in the industry, not because of the efficiency in the production. So here, very important difference between network externality and economies of scale. Economies of scale is because on the scale gets larger, more quantity produced, you gain the economies of it, reduce cost, average cost. However, network externality is not as such. The network externality, it is based on because of more users are using that particular goods or products, the payoff, the benefits to the firms will increase because of network externalities, which works through the number of users. a factor based on the number of users. The more people buy product A, the more people is going to be likely to buy product A. The more people buy product A, the more people buy product A. The more people buy product A, the more people buy A. And the less number of people buying product B. So economies of scale external to the firm or industry-wide scale economies are only considered example of network externality if they are driven by demand, the demand side of the economy. Otherwise, if they're not driven by the demand side, so it's not the economies of scale cannot be considered as a network externality. So now network effects. Network externality creates network effects. Which is a change in the benefit. Benefit means profit, revenue or profits. A change in the benefits, which is supplies, an agent derives from a good when the number of other agents consuming the same kind of goods changes. A good's value to an individual is greater when many other people are using the same products. And it is common. So it is the number. Network externality has got to do with the number of users. The more people using that product, the greater the value to you, that product in your eyes, making you also want to consume or to buy the products, to join in. So it is common. This network effects is common in technology-driven sectors. Example, long ago telegraphs, and then fax machines, and now software, and now the social media. Now, the more people joining Lincoln, the cherrier, the more you like it. So, for example, the social media, the more people on Facebook, the more people on Instagram, the value to you, Facebook, has increased because of the more people are joining and using it. So it's got better value to you, making you want to use it. So because in technology products, the network effects. What is network effects? The more people buying that product A, more people buy product A. More people buy product A, more people buy product A. And that works through a network of demand for the products. Because of the Metcalfe law. So let's go to my slides. Yeah, yes, a section under the topic of network effects.